Rishi Sanghvi, the MD at Sanghvi Movers, joining us on the show. Rishi, hi, glad to have you on the show. Do you concur with this kind of statement, 4x, market growth in the construction equipment industry over the next 7 to 8 years?
Yes, hi, good afternoon, and thank you for having me. So the construction equipment sales this year is going to top 100,000 units. And this is a 25% growth on the sale of construction equipment. There's tremendous demand on the crane rental market also. And I think what is driving this is the 33% increase on infrastructure spend in the budget, which is approximately 10 lakh crores now, and amounts to about 3.3% of the GDP.
Rishi, there are only two pure play companies if one has to go for earth movers, construction, cranes in particular. I know that one part of your business which caters to, very tall cranes actually, especially catering to the renewable space, solar in particular, there are hardly any suppliers. And on the other side, there is sudden very large burst of demand. Is that likely to improve your financials in the next few years quite significantly?
So, hi, you're absolutely right. There is tremendous demand of cranes coming from the renewable sector, especially the wind industry, because our cranes are used to execute hub heights. There is massive pull from the market with almost 10 plus gigawatts of inquiries per year that need to be executed going all the way up to 2030. So there's roughly about 70 gigawatts of projects that are either being envisioned or either at the execution stage or the inquiry stage. Now, this sort of demand, allows us to have better pricing power, and we do see our yields going up. So for the first quarter of this financial year, we have seen our average blended yield cross 2%. And I think going forward, we can expect to maintain such yields.
Rishi, the other area I want to understand is future inquiries. We are also witnessing a very good focus of the sector and of policy from the policymakers side as well on transmission towers. Do you see inquiries coming in from power sector as well?
So there's a tremendous, again, just wind energy is not going to be able to meet the power demand of the country. It has to be a solution of thermal power, renewable power, green hydrogen, etc. So there is a tremendous amount of demand for grid infrastructure, evacuation lines, transmission lines to evacuate the power that is being generated in all these renewable spaces. And I see going forward that there will be a tremendous, government specifically will have to put in a tremendous amount of time building up the grid infrastructure along with the substation and evacuation facilities.
Sure, Rishi, you have painted a very rosy picture when it comes to the demand side, but I also wanted to understand what's happening on the supply side in the sense that have you kind of ordered for more cranes for yourself so that you can meet this demand? What is the capacity utilization looking like? And overall, what is the status with respect to pricing? Are you able to command better pricing and hence realizations are improving for you?
So what's happening right now is, our board of directors has approved a 300 crore capex. This number has actually been increased in the first quarter, of which we have executed almost 80 to 90% of the capex, and all of that is already adding to incremental revenues on the top line. So for this financial year, the company may end up anywhere between 300 to 325 crores of capex for purchasing new cranes, subject to the approval of the board of directors. In terms of pricing power, we do see that we can maintain our 2% yield going forward and maybe improve it based on the demand for cranes in the wind sector. In terms of capacity utilization, we had reached about 84% capacity utilization in the first quarter. And, for a construction equipment leasing company, this is an effective utilization of almost 95%. And for the first year, or for the first half of this financial year, we see the utilization on average being around 82 to 84%.
Lastly, before I let you go, given the entire demand supply situation, can you leave us with an outlook in terms of the top line growth as well as the margin range that we should expect for the medium term, let's say next 12 to 18 months? What's the internal target where you can ramp up the growth and margins to?
So wouldn't really like to give you a forward guidance because we're in our silence period. But we can expect to definitely do better than last year in terms of the top line and the bottom line, and while maintaining our margins. And I see that this continuous demand for wind with a visibility up to 2030, we don't see that sort of demand or pull from the market coming down at any time. If at all, we see that going up.
Let's not focus on numbers. We'll talk about numbers when you release them. But out of curiosity, that the biggest crane in India, you are about to get it from Dubai. Has it arrived yet?
So yes, we did get it. It's a brand new crane. We purchased it from China. It will be one of the biggest cranes in the country. It's primarily used in the oil and gas and petrochemical industries. And this unit will be shipped and delivered shortly.
There's some visuals of with that crane. We'd like to show it to our viewers next time when we interact with you. Around the
Absolutely.
number.
We will be sharing a lot of footage
Yeah.
around it executing its first
So
job.
what's the height of that?
So the maximum range that it can reach is about 218 meters. And that's the absolute maximum configuration of the crane.
Reference, Anisha, 218 meters or 3.5 feet in a meter, right?
Yeah.
This World One, or Lodha World One, in a vicinity is 500 feet.
Wow, so almost 200.
So it's almost as tall as a skyscraper, to be honest.
Wow, amazing. It'll be
Interesting
really good fun to
see
look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting to see it in the works. Thanks so much, Rishi, for joining us, and we'll wait by to get that footage.
Thank
from
you for
as well.
having me. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks so much.